All right, welcome everyone. We are live. This is the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Ladum, and of course, what we're doing here is we're trying to work our way to building ourselves a company that is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. So that's what we're doing. And if you know before, we're 10% there. Last year we did 100,000. This year we're going to try to double or triple that. Oh, hang on a second. Tristan. Tristan, I need you to be a lot quieter now, okay? Did you hear me, Tristan? Okay. All right, that was really loud out there. Okay, where was I? I don't know where I was. What was I talking about? I think maybe like how much revenue we're going to generate this year. I mean, the goal is to, I'd like to double. I'd like to go to 250,000 this year. That's what I would like to do. So in honor of that, well, I guess there's kind of two things. Number one, what I've noticed is Webflow is down right now. I was getting some 502 errors, although it seems like this is kind of up. It's been in and out. Is this going to allow me to start? It might just freeze. Yeah, it's been freezing here. Oh, it's gone. Maybe they fixed it. So anyways, Webflow was down. So I was like, well, if that's not going to work, maybe we can do something a little bit different today. And I've been thinking about this for quite a bit in terms of just how are we going to price pixel pieces. I feel like the camera is a little bit, maybe something like that. How are we going to price pixel pieces in a way that makes the most sense for what we want to do? So let's work on that now, because why not? We're going to have to think about it at some point anyways, right? So might as well do it right now. All right. So let's go pixel pieces, pricing options. Options or thoughts or ideas. I mean, there's lots of different ways we can kind of think about this. Actually, is this font? Let's give it this font. I like this better. Okay. So here are our pricing options. Let's make this font to even. Okay. So how's that? I think that seems reasonable in terms of you guys being able to see the size. We're at like 230% zoom here. Okay. So the thing that I'm thinking about is how I would like to pay for things. So let's just go like pricing models. So I think number one is one-time payment. So number two, you can have monthly subscriptions, right? We can do that. We can have, for the templates, we can have like single, like use purchase. And then there could be a combination of all these different options. And what I mean by that is I think we can have, it's a possibility. So we can have a one-time payment. So say you pay, your one-time fee, or your one-time, whatever it is, to access the site. You can have that. But maybe there could be an option where you can, if you want to go month to month, maybe you can. Or maybe it's like 6 months or 1 year at a time. Okay, so if I put in here options, say have a one-time payment structure, but also like supplement. I don't know if that's the right word. with a monthly or yearly subscription option. And why would I want to do that? I mean, I guess the thought is how much, if somebody is not willing to pay for a one-time payment because maybe they think it's too expensive, say it's, in my mind right now, it'll be between like $300 and $500. I think that's the number I have in my mind. And if someone's like, well, $300, that's too much, I'd rather pay, $30 or whatever, so they can buy it for a month, get the stuff that they need, and then leave. So it's trying to cater to those individuals. But is that going to be, like, would that hurt me? And what I mean by that is, say if somebody's going to buy the one-time payment and they're like, oh, you know what, I just maybe just need it for a month, I'll just do it for the 30 days or whatever it is, and then they buy it for a month, and then they don't become like that full-time customer. I don't know. I think that's overthinking things too much. So one-time price, say it's $4.97. Then monthly, probably get by between $29 and $39 a month, right? So maybe we have something like that where it's $30 a month. And then for the themes, I mean, I feel each theme should probably be the same price. I mean, I know that there's different people that have themes and they have them at different prices depending on what the theme is. So I could see if it's a basic theme, I guess we could maybe have different tiers. So like if it's a basic theme, then it's, $49. And then if it's advanced, then it's like $129. I think that's about standard cost of Webflow themes. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. Let's actually, let's maybe put this right here. So let's delete that. I think we kind of have that in our mind. I mean, we could look at some options or some, what's the word I'm looking for? Like comparables, like what other companies are charging. So we have these guys here. These guys charge $38 a month. And Pro, what does the Pro get you? Oh, with the site builder. Okay, so they added more features since last I saw. I think Jet Boost. Yeah, this is a little bit more functionality, but kind of gives you an idea of the price. And then what are other components? Flow base, that's a big one. Pricing, just monthly, $39 a month. So these guys, $39 a month, $39 a month, $38 a month. Okay, so what did I say? 29. So at least you gotta we're not racing to the bottom here and diluting everyone's products. That's just stupid. Okay, so in a year, how much is that a year? Equals this times 12. Just yearly cost. But then, of course, a lot of people have discounts if you're doing monthly versus yearly. But then, what do they have if it's yearly? Let's go, just cut that out here for a second. Let's go yearly instead, just to see. We got 32. Oh, this is, okay, again, this is different. So that's billed yearly there. So we're at 49. And annually it's 30%. This goes down to $27. Wow. It's 27 to 32. So let's say it's $30 a month. Yearly, it's about $30 a month, which is $360 a year, right? 30 times 12. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So then the idea is if you can have a one-time price, if you look at, what's 500 divided by 500 equals 500 divided by $30. That's 16, which is 12 months. 18 months is a year and a half. So let's just say if you were going to go at over a year with a subscription pricing plan, after a year, and then if you go for a year 2, then it would be cheaper for you to be on if you just pay once, right? Our startup plan costs less than 1%. Yeah. For sure. That's great marketing, right? By the way, good job. But anyways, right? So if you have a plan, it's $500 and you pay one time, then you're going to be saving money in the long run if you're going to stick around. And of course, there's lots of stuff that we're going to do in our materials and the stuff that we put out there to make sure people know that, hey, we're in it for the long run, that we're going to want to stick around, that we're a company that's, we're building for the future, and, you don't pay your $500 and then we, close up shop tomorrow. So those are going to be things that we're going to have to figure out how we're going to deal with that. So anyways, looking at those comparables, and again, we're not trying to undercut anybody because we're not racing to the bottom. So I think this pricing is pretty good. The only question is, do I want to have a subscription for month to month? That I don't know. Because there's always the idea or the worry that someone is going to subscribe for 1 month, download all your assets, and then be gone. So the reason why I worry about that is because the difference between Pixel Pieces and, say, these other, some of the library components, especially at least with Reloom, is that we're also going to be components plus templates as well for full-on, fully built Webflow themes, basically, right? Themes, templates, I don't know what the correct terminology is. So giving people access to like pre-built websites, I think could be maybe a little bit dangerous in the sense that there's going to be people that are going to, it's not going to be scamming the system, but they'll buy it, download everything, and then that's it. So my thought and what my gut is kind of telling me is that in the pricing page, we'll have pay once for lifetime access, but for the themes, have those be like you can buy them individually instead of like having to sign up. So therefore, like if you wanted to buy 3 or 4 themes, then it'll become more practical to actually buy full access to the whole Pixel Pieces library, if that makes sense. That's what I'm thinking anyways. And and then also have everything just like maybe a 3-day trial. 3-day trial for everything. And when you come in. And I guess the question would be, if you're on a 3-day trial, should you be able to have access to a theme or to the themes? Because again, if you're giving somebody a trial, they can still just download everything. It's probably not something that I should be worrying about. Because there's always going to be people, like I think no matter what product it is that you have or whatever business you are, there's going to be that 10% or whatever the hell the number is. I have no idea what the number is. But that 10% of people that are always going to try to be as cheap as possible. Like you just can't help it. They'll always go for the cheapest option no matter what. Even if they have money or whatever, it's just some people, what's the cheapest you got? So there's going to be people, give me the cheapest and I'll just take all my stuff and then I'll leave. You can't help it. But I think for the most part, for the majority of people, they'll use it in a way that's, I don't know what the right word is, because it's not like ethically or morally, because you give you pay for something, you can just have access to it. And I don't have any problems if anybody did that. It's just trying to minimize that. So anyways, I think a majority of people aren't going to really worry about, or no, what's the right saying? I think a majority of the people aren't going to be trying to use the system in that way. That's what my gut is telling me. So if people did have if they sign up for monthly, they would probably just download the stuff that they would need, maybe a few more things, and then that'll be that. And then they'll either keep on the subscription for a couple months or whatever, and then hopefully they see how useful it is for when they're building projects to then move on to like the one-time price. And it might even be interesting too to roll people in, like once they've paid enough of the month to month, that they can just roll into a lifetime member. That would be kind of cool. Because I don't know if anybody ever does anything like that. And I guess as a company, you could be losing money because, I totally get the appeal of subscription models because you're just getting that consistent revenue every single month from a user. But again, in the idea of building something for you and solving your own problem, I'm so tired of subscription models. I hate it so much. It's so frustrating that I just want to buy things. I don't even care if they're more expensive. I just want to pay once and then be done with it and have it. I can't stand subscription models because I feel like I just don't own anything anymore. And I hate that feeling and it's really annoying, but I get it. Software, it makes sense because it's expensive to make all that stuff. I get it. Totally get it. But there's just something, I don't know. There's just something not right with it. Okay. So let's go with that. Let's envision a one-time price of $497. Do I have it open here? Okay, pay once, own for life. Right. So I think we need to throw in a little bit more color on here. And once we have actual things, we'll brighten this page up for sure. Yeah, we'll have it the one-time price, and then the templates. When you have a template, I guess you can just purchase them individually. Okay. So let's do. I hate doing this. I totally hate doing this, but let's just do some kind of projections. Which I really hate doing projections because you could just make them be whatever you want. But I think it's probably important to see what the long-term viability of this, because the difference between doing it this way with a one-time price versus a subscription model is you're always going to have to get new customers, right? So there's a little bit of an issue there, but I do have kind of some thoughts around that as well, which is, anyways, I'll talk about those ideas in a little bit as we go through these projections. Okay, so right, so okay, so we're gonna go with, yeah. Okay. Where should we put this? Let's just put this one-time price. And so this is the main product. Pixel pieces. We gotta make this. Actually, no, let's not do that just quite yet. And then we'll have, what else do we have? So we have a basic theme. Say that's going to be $49. And then an advanced theme. And that's going to be $129. And this one. Let's format that as currency. But only, oh no, we want no decimal places. Excuse me. English Canada. Okay. So now the idea is how many different customers, or how many customers do you think we're going to have? So let's say let's just, for the sake of argument, say that we launch January 1st, 2024. Yes, that's next year. Don't display like that. I hate when it shortens it out. Format. Give me the date. And year, like that. Okay. Is this going to expand? We want February, March, April, May, June, July, blah, blah, November, December. Okay. Let's cut this down here and actually okay, now the rows, they need to be too long. Let's change this. Let's go back to how it was. Format cells. Date. No, it's not. Oh, here we go. So, and actually, month. 24. There we go. That's what we'll do. There. Oh. I gotta select all the columns. Oh, it's been a while since I've done any Excel stuff. So don't laugh at me at my poor Excel skills. Okay. So, so the first column, maybe we'll say number of new customers. For number of new customers, right? But we also want that for the different products. So we'll just call it for pixel pieces. No, let's write it out. Pixel piece. There's probably actually spreadsheets that are already pre-built to help you do some type of modeling, but sometimes it's nice to just work it out by hand. Basic theme. Oh, actually, number of new customers. And then I think we'll say basic theme sales and then advanced theme sales. Okay. So what number is a good number to have for our first year? I mean, it's so tough. I mean, like one customer, like a week. What's a good number to say? Because one customer a week would give us 4 times 12 would give us 48. So like 50 new customers. So in the first year, we want 50 customers. I mean, that's pretty low, but maybe that's okay. So let's, again, like I said, we're going to play this ultra conservative. And then I guess what we can do, let's actually and so here like income, I guess, from each of these sources. So this would equal 4 times this much. And we want that to stay put. Okay. And then theme sales. Again, I have no idea how much this would be and how much it should be and how many we'd make. So I mean, let's be I don't know, super like is again, I'm just making up these numbers. That's why it's like, oh, if we make 2 sales a month, I mean, you think you could make more than that, but it equals this times this amount. Oh, that didn't work. Equals this times this. Oh, no, not times this. Not L6, J6. Oops, that's supposed to be the $sign. I mean, that's ultra low. But again, the real thing is we don't want to sell individual templates. We want to sell just people. Well, we want to sell people. We want to sell our main product, which is access to everything. And then, so advanced theme is going to equal this times this. I hate doing this. Okay. And this is just going to be yearly totals. Equals the sum, whoops, not the negative sum, that would be bad, of all of this. And let's just copy that down. This is actually not a number. And then total revenue down here. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So this would be the total revenue in the first year, $28,128, if we assume we get 1 customer a week. So now, like obviously that's not going to get us anywhere close to our $1 million goal, right? Especially in recurring revenue. So, I mean, we could say, yeah, I mean, you could say after 6 months, you want to double the amount of people you have sign up. So instead of 1 signing up a week, you get 2 signups a week. And then you can, and you triple it or quadruple it or whatever the case may be. But let's just say realistically, I mean, how many people realistically would sign up? Oh, I don't know. I mean, is it a stretch to think that, it could end up being a place where we have like 5,000 people sign up. And then in that case, let's just say number of customers per year. So say, let's just throw in some numbers here. And then what revenue does that generate? So, that's per year. That's crazy. Say 250. Let's go with 100, 250, 500, 1,000. Equals this times this. Oh, that's not going to work. So basically, you need 2,000 customers a year, brand new, to generate $1 million in revenue. See, this is where when it's a subscription model, you can kind of horseshoe it up and you could kind of have that exponential growth. But if it gets to the point where, say we have 2,000 customers and then that's it, we're not making any more sales or what have you, then that company can go stagnant, right? Because you don't have a product anymore. Or you have a product, but you don't have new customers. So what can we do if for whatever reason we max out, right? Like there's no more customers. Again, I think that would be insane because how many people make websites? The problem of not being able to have any more customers because we've saturated the market would be like insane. I think there'd be like tens of thousands of people. So that would be like a multi-million-dollar company in terms of how much revenue is generating. So I don't foresee that being too much of a problem. But I think, where was I going with this? Where was my mind going with this? Right. What do we do if it gets to the point, say we get to 250 customers and then for whatever reason, sales are slowing down or the growth is slowing down, then assuming that the product is still fantastic, and we're going to keep working to make the product better and better, but just, for whatever reason, the market's saturated that there's no more new clients. Like, I don't know, as an example, what's an example? Like if you're a grocery store and you sell food, people are always going to have to come back for food, even though it's like a fixed cost, right? But if you sold Photoshop, you could sell it once. I guess they have their new versions of Photoshop. So companies are always building something else or offering something else to expand on their service. So what ideas could we do? And that's a good thing. So like, how to expand products / services to existing customers. And I guess the idea here is it's kind of like help with cash flow within the company. Because again, if you have 1,000 customers, they've already paid you, fantastic. But you got to find a way to keep maintaining the company, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years after those customers have paid you their money, right? Because you want to make sure that they're going to get incredible value for the amount of money that they spent. At least that's what I always like to think. Just kill them with all kinds of different value. So what other options can we do? There could be like educational content. And that could come in lots of different forms. It could be a community, kind of like a school. Is it because okay. It doesn't like, I think I have to put a little thing there. Instead of doing that then, can I just Alt-7? There we go. We could have, just maybe even single purchase courses. And I guess I'll say this community and school, that will be tuition based. We're tuition based, and then, running like every year. Just thinking about things, off the top of my head here in terms of, you have a I don't know how you'd call it, but almost like a program where it's like, okay, here's a 1-year program where you buy the program and then there's specific teachings and instructions or whatever that you do with an instructor or whatever, and they just kind of walk you through the process. And it could be a process of, hey, learning from zero to hero in terms of opening up your own web design agency or something like that, right? Or then they could be just single purchase courses. And outside of educational content, and obviously we have themes. And then, continuous theme development. So that is another source of income that we can generate outside of the existing customers. And then what else can we have? And the reason I say that is because if we have the option of people being able to purchase themes outside of being a member, I think that's fantastic. Then people can just buy them. And then that's just a source of revenue that will help just, maintain the cash flow of the company. And what else? Does anything else come to mind in terms of what you can do? There could be... in terms of development, and this would be well into the future, and this would just be kind of spitballing now, but, just ways to increase functionality of Webflow. So if there's any other kind of products that we can build, if we end up just becoming that type of agency that is really going to integrate a whole lot more within Webflow, then that's just something that we might do. I don't know if I'd want to go that deep into integrating my whole company and my whole business solely around Webflow. So that's a big kind of asterisk there. Because I look at some of these companies, that, hey, we just build, widgets for Webflow. Whatever, that's great. But if Webflow goes away, or if they change their API or change their terms of service or who knows what, your whole business is screwed, right? So it's kind of ironic I'm saying that now because I'm just kind of focusing on pixel pieces and building Webflow templates and components. But I do have ideas, again, with the educational content. It's not always necessarily going to be just specifically about Webflow, but it could be things about web design in general. And there's all kinds of different tools that you can use to create websites. And then with the themes, there could be development of themes outside of Webflow, like Ghost as an example, which is another platform that I really love. So yeah. So yeah, like I was doing these things, and like I was thinking for this, I could expand it. Maybe let's zoom out a little bit here. I could create this. Okay, this is year 1, and year 2, we're gonna have. Well, here, can I copy all these and then insert them? Copy. Insert copied cells. Right. So then I go year 2. It's like, okay, well now we're going to, because it's year 2, we've got some momentum, and now we're going to triple the amount of sales that we do, right? And say we start with 12, and then after 6 months, then we're gonna, then we're really gonna ramp it up. We're gonna quadruple or whatever. So then we're gonna go to 18. and then you could just keep throwing up the numbers. Like, okay, now we're marketing our sales of our themes, and now they're like skyrocketing. They're like tenfold, right? So then we could say, okay, well now we're selling 20 of them, almost like one a day, basically. And so we have those, but then maybe the premiums are really taking off, and we sell almost one a day on those ones. So we sell 30, right? And then come July, that just skyrockets, where we get 50 sales a day, just because we're constantly releasing new ones. So then you can see how you could just play around the numbers and be like, okay, well then, yeah, year 2 we make 163. Okay, perfect. And then the year after that, okay, well now we're going to get 10 times as many clients and customers coming through the door or whatever, right? And now we're going to introduce this, and that's what we're going to sell. I mean, all fine and dandy to make those projections, as long as they're based, I think, in some kind of realism. But I'll say, like, full disclosure, I've never used a forecasting model and figured out how I could use that to help guide what I'm going to be doing in my business. So that's why I'm really hoping for moving on in this program that I did here in Nova Scotia, with Propel. I can't remember exactly what the program is called now. But moving on to the next phase, where that's when you are going to be releasing the product and doing some iterations and testing, and probably going to be working on some type of forecast, because we did have to do a forecast for how many customers you think you're going to get and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. So they might have some insights on how I could actually use something like this to, well, number one, make it better than what this is, but use it to figure out how to make sure you're on the right path with your business. Anyways, I noticed that there's a few people that keep popping into the stream here too. So if you have any ideas or any thoughts of what I'm saying, please let me know in the comments. Would love to hear what your thoughts are. Especially if you think that I'm thinking about this in the wrong way, which could very well be. Especially with the idea of saying, no, you should stick with a subscription model. But I will probably just push back and be like, I want to try to not be a subscription service, because everyone else does. Like, literally, like, everyone. So I would say, actually, not everyone. The company that I do like is these guys. What they have for their product. So UI8, so they basically sell resources for designers, like templates and fonts and illustrations, kits, blah, blah, blah. Where's pricing? Is this going to be an infinite scroll? Affiliate program. I guess all access pass. So these guys are interesting. So these guys cap how much you can actually download. So I guess you could probably do that with, I don't know, with pixel pieces, where somebody clicks, copy. That's like, okay, well, you only have like 10 copies a day or whatever. Which I don't think, I wouldn't even want to try to build something like that. So, but they have their subscription models, but it's based on like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or a lifetime. So it's very interesting, but it's weird that they have lifetime, but they also have a limit to how much you can download per day, which is kind of annoying. But that's a lot of downloads per day. But I like that it's not, I mean, I guess it is still a subscription, but it's not just for 1 month or what have you. I kind of like how they do that. So, but I know for me, because this is actually pretty pricey, like I bought the basic one. Anyways, I would love to know what their numbers are in terms of who's buying what. But of course, they're not a publicly traded company, so I'm not going to be able to see that. Anyways, so I think I'll go with something like this. I feel like that would be a fair price. But of course, we have to finish actually building out our components. And how's the Webflow? What's it doing? Okay, fix has been deployed at, what is that? 221? So that was a while ago. So how are we looking? Everything's loading up okay. Excellent. Everything's looking good. It's working so far. All right. Is there anything else that I need to cover? Yeah, I think I like this. So what are we going to do? Let's summarize this. So path forward. Charge a one-time fee of, this number could totally change. But $4.97 for lifetime access. And then we're going to have a free, I think, 3-day trial. I think. And we're going to have a free style guide. And we're going to have a free naked flow, which is going to be the name of our template, which is going to be a bare bones Webflow template for you to be able to like build a whole site. Basically, think of it like of a WordPress site, but stripped down completely bare. So we'll have that, and then single pay per use themes or templates. So yeah, that's the way forward. I don't have the right bold for that. How does that sound? What do you guys think? Does that sound good? I think that sounds good. And then continual theme component just say like updates and development well just that, updates and maybe new like new products, I guess. Right, so that's how I'll go. And one thing that I know that's really going to sell is tutorial videos on how to use each component and theme. That's going to take a lot of time to do, but it'll be fun. I think that'll be fun. All right. I think, yeah, I like that. I'm going to sit on it to see if it, to see what I think and to see if it still makes sense to me, after sleeping on it or whatever. But I think it does. I really like the one-time fee, and I want to see if I can make it work. Because again, for me, I hate paying subscriptions, and there's so many things that if I could not pay a subscription, I would be super happy with. And I think with something like this, I think it can definitely make sense. Obviously, I get like for hosting and whatever, yeah, you need a subscription plan. Totally get it. Totally makes sense. But for this, I kind of think of these component things as kind of in the middle. Like obviously it's not a physical product that you're buying, but it kind of is in the sense that I want to buy a component and then you should just have it. You know what I mean? Like even though that component itself is virtual, but it basically represents almost like a physical product. I don't know if that makes sense. I just kind of how I'm thinking about it. Whereas when you're doing a hosting service or whatever, you're just renting out the servers and all that kind of stuff, I guess. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's how I like to think about things, or this thing in particular. And again, getting away from the whole subscription model. And we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you think. If you think you would rather pay a one-time fee for something like this, for like Webflow components or templates, a continually growing library, or would you prefer to pay month to month? Have it be a little bit cheaper, but then, you know, obviously over time it'll be more expensive than a month to month. But I guess it also depends on how long do you think you'll be using that product or service moving forward. And of course, if your company or whatever can afford it, then that's also not a big deal. But anyways, I don't know. Let me know what you think. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining. A lot of people kind of jumped in and out, so thank you very much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And what we'll do tomorrow, episode number 200, which is kind of crazy. And nothing special, no crazy celebration, I don't think. Just back to work, because of course we need to keep going so we can release this thing and keep marching towards that $1 million goal. So we'll get there, and together, you know, we'll get there. And keep on plugging away at what you're working on. And I hope everything is going to go, or is going really well with your business. And if you ever just want to shoot me a line as to what you're working on, I would love to hear it, because the one thing with entrepreneurs and startups and stuff, I just love being around in the environment, other people that are doing really cool things. So if there's ways that we can help each other, then hey, let's figure that out. Anyways, enough rambling from me for today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you back here tomorrow, episode number 200. Stay tuned.